Hello children, welcome to channel Sube. Children, today I am going to discuss question number 44 from the MCQ part of 2022-23 Physics New Syllabus paper. For which values of R would the silicon transistor circuit shown be in cutoff region and active region respectively? So children, what is the cutoff region? Cutoff region, we call cutoff region if there is no collector current in this transistor. If IC is 0, we call the circuit is at cutoff region or cutoff state. To IC to go to 0, to be 0 IC, what should be fulfilled? The base current should be 0. Base current should be 0. If base current is 0, IC also 0. Because you know the graph IC and IB, between IB and IC. So IB, if IB is 0, the collector current also 0. If IB gradually increases, the collector current also gradually increases. So if we take voltage here, volt, base emitter voltage, and also collector current we can plot. So then at 0.7 volt, IC begins to increase from 0. If the voltage at base emitter is 0.5 or something, below 0.7, below 0.6, something like 0.5 volt, then no IC current, then IC is 0. That is called cutoff region. Cutoff region or cutoff state. This circuit is at cutoff state. So for IB to go to 0, this resistor should be very low. Then what happens? The current coming from this battery directly goes to the ground. That means to the battery negative. Battery negative is here, VCC negative. So the current coming through this 100K resistor directly goes to the ground if this resistor is very low. So what they ask is respectively be in cutoff region and active region. So this side is cutoff, this side is active respectively, cutoff region and active region. So to achieve the cutoff region, we know that base current should be 0. So for the base current to go to 0, this resistor should be very low. So we have to select the lowest resistor values from these answers at left side. So these are the lowest, 5K, 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 100K, 100K, these are greater. Then what is active region? Active region. What is active region? Or active state of a transistor. If the current is through this collector not 0 and not maximum, in between not 0 and not maximum, so the current is a normal value, not maximum, not 0. So if we replaced the resistor 5 kilo ohm here, what happens? The transistor goes to cutoff region or cutoff state, because this resistor value is very low, therefore all the current goes to the ground coming from here, from the battery. So if we let some little current go through this base like this, then we can reach, we can obtain the active region. Little base current should be allowed. So to do that, what happened in the previous discussion, in the previous state, that means cutoff region, this resistor was too low, therefore all the current coming from this 100 kilo ohm goes to the ground. So to convert some, to divert some current to this base side, what we should do, we should increase this resistor a little bit, something like 7.5 or 8, 10 kilo ohms or something like that, not much than that, little bit we have to increase. So then some current goes along this line to the base, so there will be then a base current. So I will be IB not equal to 0, then there will be some base current. If there is some base current, there will be a collector current as well. It is also not 0. Then we call this is active region, this one is active region. So to achieve that, we should increase the resistor, emitter resistor, this one is emitter resistor, a little bit more than 5 kilo ohms. So the answer is therefore little bit more than 5 kilo ohms. So this one is little bit lower, this one also lower than 5 kilo ohms. So these are not the answers, therefore this one is the answer, third one is the answer. So children, we understand that if we increase the resistor value from 5 kilo ohm to 7.5 kilo ohm or something like that, closer to that value, we go to active region from cutoff region. So this value is relevant for cutoff region. This value 7.5 kilo ohm is relevant for active region. So if we increased more than that 7.5, because at 7.5 these both lines are conducting, at 7.5. At 5 kilo ohm, only this resistor is conducting, there is no base current, so only current is coming down like this, here no current. If we used a little bit more than 5 kilo ohm, what happens? So something like 7.5 kilo ohm, then current coming from this 10 kilo ohm goes through this 7.5 kilo ohm and as well goes some amount to the base. IB is not 0, then some value, IB has some value, so then collector current also has some value. So that is called active region. If we increased more than that, so we are increasing little by little the value of the resistor at emitter and base. So this one is 100 kilo ohm, this one is the R. So if we increased this value more than that, suppose 100 kilo ohm or something like that, then what happens? No current goes through this resistor, all the current goes through this base, because this resistor is very greater, higher. So therefore all the current coming from 100 kilo ohm goes through this base. So the base current is now greater, IB is greater because all the current is going through that. So collector current also then therefore will increase. So collector current is now higher, it will reach maximum, that means saturated region, we call saturated region or saturated state. So that is the 3 states of a transistor. Again I am explaining, if we used a 5 kilo ohm resistor here at the base and emitter, this one is emitter here, emitter base junction. So if we used 5 kilo ohm, what happens? No base current, all the current goes to ground, therefore no collector current. So this is what we call cutoff region. Cutoff. If we increased a little bit, something like 7.5 kilo ohm, then some current goes through this base emitter resistor and some current goes through the base. Some current goes through the base. Both the lines are conducting. So therefore, since some current is going through the base, a little current is going through the base, a little collector current is appeared. Little collector current is flowing through the collector. So IC is there. You see, it is not zero. Therefore we call that active region. Active region. So if we increase the base emitter resistor more than that, something like 50 kilo ohm or 100 kilo ohm, something like that, what happens? No current goes through this resistor because the resistance is very high. Therefore all the current goes through this base. So the base current is very large now. Therefore we get a large collector current. Large means maximum current. So that is called saturated region or state. So children, to explain this thing, I have prepared animation. All this morning I spent time to get it done. So now I am going to show you that. So children, let us go to our animation. Here is the animation. So the circuit is constructed according to the diagram given. Here 100 kilo ohm you can see, 5 kilo ohm also connected at the base and emitter junction. So 1 kilo ohm resistor is connected here to the collector through this emitter, because to protect the transistor, this resistor is that one, RC. We call sometimes this load resistor. So here 1 kilo ohm resistor is doing that task, protecting this transistor. So to measure this collector current, we have connected this emitter in series with the collector and this resistor. You can see from the positive of the battery, we have connected to the positive of the emitter terminal. So the negative terminal is going through this transistor to the negative of the battery. So perfectly you have to connect this emitter like this in series to measure the current perfectly. So since this emitter resistor is very low, the value is very low, all the current coming from this 100 kilo ohm is going through this resistor instead of this base. So there is no base current, therefore because this resistor is very low. So since there is no base current, there will be no collector current as well, because to function the transistor there must be a base current. If there is no base current, the transistor is at off state. That means there is no collector current. So that is what we can see from this meter. It shows the needle is at 0 point, so there is no current flowing through this collector to emitter because there is no base current. Why there is no base current? All the current coming from this 100 kilo ohm is going through this 5 kilo ohm resistor, because the value of this 5 kilo ohm resistor is very low regarding this 100 kilo ohm. So all the current is going through this 5 kilo ohm. And also the other thing, the resistance between this base and emitter is greater than this 5 kilo ohm. Therefore the base and emitter is short circuited by this 5 kilo ohm. Therefore all the current is going through this 5 kilo ohm. No current is passing through this base emitter junction. So therefore the transistor is at off condition. So we call therefore cutoff region, because there is no collector current. If there is no current at our home, we call power cut. So like that, cutoff region is that. The meaning is that cutoff region. So let us now remove this resistor. So remember this. Now if there is no collector current, we call cutoff region. How that happened? Somehow we have to stop current going through this base. If we cut this circuit, if we remove this 100 kilo ohm resistor, that also the same thing will happen. No current through this base, there will be no current then through this collector. So we call this cutoff region. So now let us go to the next state. So let us remove that 5 kilo ohm resistor. Now what happened? We removed that 5 kilo ohm resistor. What is the resistance here? It is infinity. Now the resistance here is infinity. So there's no current can be go through this these points. Therefore, all the current coming from this 100 kilo ohm, because it is connected to the battery positive. So all the current coming through this 100 kilo ohm is going now through this base. All the current is going through base. So there is a considerable base current now. Therefore, there is a considerable collector current. Not considerable, maximum. Because now the maximum current is passing through this base. So the maximum current also we can see at the collector, because from this meter you can see 4 is here, 0.4, you can't see that because the diagram is very small. So here 0.4 ampere, that means 400 milliampere. 400 milliampere is now passing through this transistor, so that is the maximum. So since that is the maximum, we call this region saturated region. Saturated region here, saturated region, or saturated state we can call, because maximum current is now passing through this transistor. We can't increase the current anyway, in any way we can't increase the current through this transistor more than that. So that therefore we call transistor is at saturated region or saturated state. So now we are connecting this one. We are going to connect this 7.5 ohm kilo ohm resistor. Now 7.5 kilo ohm resistor is now connected. Now see what is happening. The current coming through this 100 kilo ohm resistor is divided into two branches. One part is going through this 7.5 kilo ohm resistor, and the other part of current is going through this base. So now there is a little base current, not as much as previous saturated state. Now here there is a little base current. So that is more than the cutoff region. At the cutoff region there was no base current. The base current was 0. At the saturated region, at the saturated state, the base current was maximum. Now here we call this one active region, because there is a base current that is at middle, not saturated, not maximum, not minimum, at a middle level. The base current is at a middle level. Therefore the collector current also is at a middle level. That means 200 milliampere. Here you can see it is not 0, it is not 400 milliampere. Now it is 200 milliampere. So the needle is at the center, exact center. So therefore we call this one is active region. So this state is very important to make amplifiers. If we supplied a signal, sine wave here from an audio output or some oscillator, if we input some signal, so it will make this circuit oscillate. That means this collector current oscillate like this in between this 0 and 400 milliampere. Keeping this needle at the center, it oscillates like this according to the input signal. So therefore the signal is very clear, because this center point is at the middle. So there is room to increase and there is room to decrease the current like this. So because the maximum was 400, minimum was 0. So now we are at center point 200 milliampere. So if we input a signal, so according to that signal the collector current will oscillate like this in between this 0 and 400 milliampere, keeping the center point at 200 milliampere. So that is the best condition for an amplifier. So we can get a non-distort output signal. That means a clear output signal. So therefore this active region is very important to design amplifiers, audio amplifiers. So now you see, so now I showed you how these three regions are achieved by changing this emitter resistor, So I think you understood. Changing this emitter resistor, we can receive any state of those three states. So children, now we are going to wind up this video. I think you understood well. So now children, I am going to wind up the video. Now it is begin time. That means I am beginning your subscriptions. So please subscribe my channel. Not only you, ask your father to subscribe, ask your mother to subscribe, and your sister, elder sister, younger sister, elder brother, younger brother, and grandfather, grandmother, uncle, auntie, anybody, any relation, make them to subscribe my channel. That means you have to collect subscriptions for my channel now, not only you. Now already you have subscribed my channel, but it is not enough. I need you, as I said, I have only 625 subscribes, so I have to get 1000 subscribes to earn a coin. Very little amount they will pay if I go to this level. So therefore please help me to gain my channel, collect subscriptions from your relations and friends also, share my link among your friends and ask them to not to subscribe, collect subscriptions for my channel as I explained by their relations and friends. So do that for me as a favor, and thank you very much for watching my videos and for doing me those helps, and press the bell icon so that you will get the message as soon as I uploaded the video, and also like my video, press the like button so that I get a like, then only the YouTube will push my video forward, then that way I can earn some subscriptions. Now I am uploading videos children for 4 years, but still I couldn't earn a coin because I am at this level. They want us to gain to this level, then only they will pay only 5 rupees per one video, you know, only 5 rupees per one video. That means $0.018 for one video they pay. To get that also we need advertisements to allow run in the video. So therefore please help me to get this amount of subscriptions. Then see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the evening. Goodbye children, good luck.